Hi, I'm Stuart from hifipig. We're at Show Deluxe 2026. I'm here with Bill McKiegan of D'Agostino Master Audio Systems. I hope I've got that right.
There you go.
We're going to talk a little bit about the business and a little bit about your new product, which is a new amplifier, I believe.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about, if you don't know Dan D'Agostino, you tell us the history. I think
Sure. Dan is a legend in the business. Obviously started the Krell company, Krell Industries, back in 1980. I started with him in 94. There was some wonderful times. It got a little turbulent there in 2009. He left the company, and in 2011, he started Dan D'Agostino Master Audio Systems. I rejoined him in 2015, so another 10 years or so I've been with Dan, and it's been quite a ride. It's been the one thing with Dan over all these years is this commitment and passion for trying to deliver the best music producing products he can, and it's never left him from the first day I met him until today. That push has been there every day, and he's at the office. If he's not traveling, he's at the office every day, and so it's been a fun thing, and we've seen some great success along the way.
And what would you say the philosophy behind his designs are? What is it? Power? Is it?
Well, I mean, we're known for our power amps, of course.
Yes.
We're known for high power amps. We've always found that power is what a speaker really needs to deliver its best performance. Mm-hmm. You need control. It's a body at rest. Once in motion, wants to stay in motion. So the control over the driver system as completely as you can from every impedance, from 8 down to 2 ohms, which is the normal range of speakers today, is really tantamount to what drives the essence of our power amp design.
And they've got a very distinctive design. Where does that come from? If you don't know the design, they've got a VU meter. Am I correct in saying on the front?
Well,
what do you call it?
Well, it's not a VU meter. VU is a very specific meter, but that needle that is kind of inspired by Swiss watches.
Yeah.
Dan's always been a big watch guy. Appreciates mechanical performance or strength or quality in everything. So whether it's be a watch or some other device, that purity of mechanism is what drove that design. The copper heat sinks are unique to us. They are function, though, rather than just form, in that copper is about 90% more efficient than aluminum as a heat sink, so we can make a small amp that is very capable in terms of power and cooling itself. So that's kind of it's never just the design. It needs to have a function, and that's where the copper comes in.
And you're launching a new amplifier here, I believe?
We do, or we have. It is the Momentum Z, so it's the new flagship of the Momentum amplifiers, which started the company. Nicely enough, the first 4 amplifiers in 2011, serial numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 were shipped to Absolute Sounds here in the UK, and this is the first international pair that has made it out to the world. It looks like, if anyone's familiar with our Momentum series, it is a Momentum design, but internally it is a brand new technology from input stage to output, how the power supply is handled, Ethernet connectivity, the display itself is radically different. Everything has been changed, except for the basic look is still the classic Momentum series.
So it's proper integrated amplifier, yeah?
No, it's still a straight, pure power amplifier. We do have a integrated amplifier in the Momentum series, but this is the mono. This is our mono amp.
And what is the power output on these?
It's 500 watts into 8 ohms. It will double its power down to 2, so it's 1,000 into 4 and 2,000 into 2.
And Class A, up to?
Up to about 40 watts, I believe this guy is.
Because I know Dan was very big on the whole Class A thing, wasn't he?
It is, but Class A has tremendous inefficiencies, and it's just by its nature generates a tremendous amount of heat, pulls a lot of energy, and we found that if we could push the power higher, we could get better performance out of the speakers. But because of that copper, we can drive the devices hard, which gives us a lot of bias. You add up a lot of devices, you get a lot of Class A bias. So you end up with 40 watts of bias. Now, 40 watts with a speaker that's 90 dB efficient, right, at 1 watt, you're talking about 100 plus dB of SPL. That is frighteningly loud. So essentially, Stu, it's 99% of your listening is in pure Class A.
Cool.
And if you've got it over 108, the party's going full tilt like your parties. At 180, extra fidelity on Class A, I'm not sure is going to be realized.
What would you say the sound of a D'Agostino amplifier is?
Well, especially this new generation, the timbre, the richness of instruments, the extension of decay on say cymbals or a trumpet or a female voice is extraordinary on this new amp. the control of the speaker gives us unbelievable fidelity at low volumes. They will play loud. Big amps will play loud, but we make them for low volume listening so that the purity, the control of drivers, the bass control and the bass purity at low volumes on this new amp is really spectacular. It's fun to listen to.
And who voices the amplifier? Is that a team job, or does Dan do that?
Well, of course, he's the final arbiter on a lot of that stuff. But, the D'Agostino company, the old days, Dan was a benevolent dictator, but a dictator nonetheless. Today, it's just a change in feel and vibe. So he's very much, let's bring the whole team in, from all the engineers, us guys. I've been with them a long time. We have a similar thought on sound. We've listened to the same cuts for years, and we know exactly that quality that we're looking for. Not necessarily audiophile cuts, just things that there's a Billie Holiday we love to listen to. We never use it at a show, but it gives us this a cue or a number of sonic cues. But at the end of the day, yes, Stan is that arbiter.
And still built in America?
Oh yeah, Cave Creek, Arizona, which is just north of Phoenix, and love having people come out and see us. You missed the window maybe of the best temperature. It's upwards of 40 degrees already.
Oh wow! Which
is a little early for that temperature in Arizona. It's usually a little later, but it's going to get there.
So how much is the new amplifier?
I know the U.S. price. They're $125,000 per pair in the U.S. Yeah,
which is not stupid money in high-end audio these days.
Well, we do have our Relentless series, which is the next step up, and we have a couple models above that, and then we have a few models below it. So
I've got a great photograph of Dan stood over the Relentless at Munich a few years ago.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
It's a really cool shot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's such a good guy to photograph because the passion of it all just oozes out of him. And you can see he's just so proud of his creations, which is a great thing.
That is what I was mentioning, is that drive, I think, is what attracts people first and foremost. They know that we just don't put out new models. There's a real vision on each step that we take. It's just not, hey, it's new year, let's put something else out. That's just not how our company works.
We talked about the testing and the voicing. Do you use a particular kind of speaker to test, or do you use a wide range of speakers?
We absolutely use a wide range. Probably the two biggest ones would be the Wilsons and Magicos. I mean, those are the ones we use most often. Rockport speakers are there as well. Those are probably the three big ones. A lot of it's due is that our distribution around the world also are using those speakers, so it makes sense to make sure that we are working well with those.
If I think of a system with D'Agostino amplifiers, it is always Magico or the Wilsons that I associate with it.
It's probably 90% of our systems out in the world. There's some Sonus Faber too. There's a lot of lovely speakers out there. They just don't seem to connect, with the distribution and sales out there.
And what are you thinking of the show so far?
Well, I have to say, I love this show, but I'm sure I'm a little jinxed. Last year, I was on my way, and Heathrow caught on fire, and I had to get turned around in the middle of the Atlantic.
I do recall this, yes.
And this year, they've lost my luggage, so I had to go buy new clothes yesterday. So I'm not quite sure I'm supposed to be here, but since I'm here,
You're supposed to be here.
Yeah, you put on a great show, so
thank you.
I like being here. It's a great one.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.